Hey guys, this is Odd1 Gaming. This is going to be another King Arthur Legends Rise video. In today's video, I'm going to show you something really fun and it's really exciting for me. And that is going to be my team that I managed to beat the Burning Land on stage 10. Now, this team is still a work in progress for me. However, it has already worked. I already beat it once and, well, it works, right? So I already did a recording. I'm just going to try to rerun it now to see if it actually works. If not, I'm obviously going to show you the video of the recording that, like I said, I've previously done. Now, the reason why I said this is not perfect yet is because obviously I still need to improve some stuff. Like this, you see, I had some resistance still happening, so that means I still need to get myself some other stats up. But pretty much the team that I'm using is, I guess, as free-to-play, or, close to the most free-to-play friendly that you can get, because I'm just using 3 rares and an uncommon, right? It's the same team that I used on the previous stages. That includes Anguish, Isolde, Sarah, and then the Djerit. Now, the key thing about this team is having obviously enough accuracy, having the vigor sets, having the right rotation to hit the boss at the right times, and also obviously you're gonna need to have some good survivability stats, right? If this team just falls apart a little bit too early, or if you just get hit once and you're dead, then obviously it's not gonna be the perfect team. So that's why I said, even for me now, it's not completely done. Even though like now with the extensions I get the good RNG, it works just okay. Now the core thing that you want to keep in mind is having the effect accuracies on the 2 people, but I'm obviously going to show you the builds at the end of this. But the core people that you really care about having the right stats on is going to be Anguish, and then it's going to be Isolde, because you really want to have them survive, and then you also want to have them land those damage over time, right? Like this one, for example, I'm not quite there yet. My Djerit died a little bit too early, so this run's going to fail. But like I mentioned, I'm just going to play for you the run that I did have succeed. So again, it's still a work in progress. Stage 10 is obviously the high stage that we have. We cannot get any further than this. So, you know what? My people can get a ton of improvements. My heroes, my gear. It's like, I think I have mostly 4-star gear on everybody. So there's a lot more that can improve. My relics, they're not completely maxed. They're not awakened. So there's so much more that this team can get to make it even better. But like I mentioned, the thing is, it actually works. So if you're wondering, like, should I start building this team? Is it worth it? Honestly, the ones that I'm using in here are definitely worth, because most of them are going to be good in other areas, such as like other dungeons, right? The 2 healers in Sarah and Isolde, they're obviously going to be good healers for other areas. Now, you saw my Djerit died for this run. However, I landed enough damage over time that this one should be pretty easy, and it's pretty much, as long as you land those, the boss is almost dead. Like, look at this, he's gone. This is definitely the fastest run that I ever had, and it's pretty much GG, right? I land 1-2 more chills, buns, or like bleeds, and there we go. The run was successful, 58 seconds, and it's just perfect. Again, do keep in mind, like I mentioned, this team is not 100% successful for me yet, but there's, again, a lot that I can improve. Now, let me show you, I guess, the presets that this team uses, so you can see, like, the skill orders, and then I'm going to show you everybody else's skills, rankings, gear, and all that. So, the Djerit, you just want him to use the A2, because this is the one that removes a dot, and then, obviously, he also puts increased crit rate. Then when it comes to Sarah, I actually chose to go with just the second skill, because this one does AoE healing constantly, whereas this one, because it's the Frost Relic, it's only single target. So I think that this one just works best, but obviously if you're building this yourself, you can try and tweak around with it, play with differently, try to let her do whatever, or maybe make her prioritize the third skill, Test what works for you, because at the end of the day, this is the core team that you see works for me, but test what works for you, because maybe different skill orders are going to do better for you. Now, the next one is going to be Isolde. Isolde, normally I had in this team just using her first skill that has a chance to inflict chill. However, because I have a Chivalry 3, and that's the spot where I still need to improve the effect accuracy on her to land the stuff, when she does this skill, she extends the duration of all the damage over time. Chivalry 3, that's what it does, has a 3-turn cooldown, and you want her to obviously go after Anguish, so hopefully Anguish lands as many of these chills as possible. And if she lands 3 of them, and then she does land 1 herself when she does this skill, she extends those for 2 turns, which means the boss will have 2 turns of that chill that is gonna take a ton of damage out of. And then Anguish, obviously with the Frost Relic as well, he does the third skill and then the first skill. Now, the other important thing is you want the team that you have in here, you want for all of them to have Frost Relics, because otherwise they're gonna take too much damage. Let's say, for example, you don't have Sarah, you can use any other healer, or whoever's your best healer, that has Frost Relic, because that's really important. If you have Storm, you're just gonna get one shot. If you have Frost, if you have Fire, it can work, but then you're losing on the damage mitigation, because you see over here, if an element has a disadvantage, it deals 80% damage. So all my team takes only 85% of the actual total damage of the boss. Now let's look at the builds. So I have Anguish, level 60, 4-star Ascended, and I actually did get some skills in his passives. However, you don't really need skills in his passive. Like the first one does help you if you have really low accuracy. However, if you just build them with high enough accuracy from the beginning, you don't really need this. And then the second one as well, this one does help if you can get some skills to land that dots taken damage increase, because that means the boss is gonna take more. But again, it's not necessarily mandatory. However, obviously it's gonna help, right? Like hopefully next time I skill him up, I have his passive fully skilled up, and then the boss will have 4 turns of the damage over time taken increase, and that's gonna be amazing. Now, if you look at the equipment, he's just running a Vigor set. You can see 4-star, 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 4. So, you know, it's mostly 4-star. I just have one chest plate. That's 5-star. I do have the keepsake over here, a belt and an orb. The total stats that he has, high HP, because you know what? I want him to survive, right? He takes lots of hits. He's the one that's targeted. So I want him to survive. He has high HP, good attack, good defense, good, decent attack speed, and then the effect accuracy, you can see 51%. I think I've heard people say that the right spot is like 70%, but you know what? For Anguish, because he does put that effect accuracy increase on himself, 50 works just fine. He never gets resisted. And then Relic, he actually does have a 6-star level 60 Relic, because this is actually the first one that I maxed out, because I honestly use Anguish everywhere, right? I use him everywhere in most of my teams. And then I did have one skill over here, but to be fair, this damage doesn't really matter, as the boss takes most of the damage. Like the best way to do damage to the Gorgos is through damage over time, and that's gonna be chill. So the fact that I have one skill in his Relic does not matter. I do have him though, Chivalry 8. I chose to get him to Chivalry 8, fully free to play. Keep in mind, I've not spent a dime in this game. Fully free to play, get him to Chivalry 8 for that chance to land the bleed. And you know what, he just works perfect. Again, I use him almost everywhere in the game, so I chose to invest in him, and that's totally worth it. If you have somebody that has better, damage over time skills, obviously you're gonna use them. If not, Anguish is gonna be your best bet. Now, the next one in the team is going to be Isolde. She's 6-star, level 60, 5-star awakened, because I did manage to farm some of that legendary stuff. She does have some stuff in a passive, but honestly, her chance of cleansing doesn't really matter in this team, because the Djerit does most of the job in here, right? The Djerit is in there just for that, to remove the damage over time and boost our attack gauge a little bit. So the fact that I have her skilled up does not really matter, right? It honestly doesn't really matter. I guess this one would help. However, I'm not using the skill 2, right? I'm not using skill 2, so this could help when you take the damage over time, but you rely on not taking it, because if you have the damage over time and keeps ticking, or the boss ignites those scorches, you're dead. So her passives don't really need to be leveled up. I did have a Chivalry 3. Like I said, this one, if you use it, has a 100% chance to increase the duration of all dot inflict on enemy by 1 turn. So this is just amazing. Equipment, she's running Vigor and Life Set. Again, 3-star, 3-star, 3-star. So you see what I'm saying? There's so much more that can be improved to make it easier. Maybe you have like better gear than me if you're watching and you're debating about doing this team. So definitely keep that in mind. Total stats, again, good HP, good defense. Attack speed is pretty low. I'd prefer to have this a bit higher. And then again, effect accuracy. I would like to get this effect accuracy to like 50, 60%. However, I just don't have that perfect gear yet, but I'm gonna get there. Then when it comes to a Relic, honestly, it's just 4-star level 30. So even this Relic, I could just level up, get more, because, for example, if you just, get more on the stats, you can see you get more HP, so you're going to survive better. Next one in the team is going to be Sarah. Sarah in the Frost Relic. She is 4-star. The Relic is 4-star level 40. No skill ups in this Relic. Then when it comes to her awakenings, 4-star awakened level 60. I did have this passive book, but honestly it helps you with nothing, right? This does absolutely nothing in this team, so it doesn't really matter. I have no Chivalry build up into her. And then the equipment, she's running Vigor and Life. For her, you want to give her as much HP as you can in the Vigor set. But again, you get this 3-star, 4-star, 4-star. I do have a couple of 5 stars, 3-star, 4-star over here. Total stats 20k HP, 141 speed, and then nothing else matters. The reason I'm saying as much HP as possible is because obviously she's the one that heals your team with that second skill, and she heals based off of her HP. So you want her to have as much HP as possible because that means the healings will be higher. And then the last one in the team, the good old uncommon, the MVP. Honestly, he's the best. I think he's the best in game for this boss because he keeps removing it. Djerit, he's running Vigor and Life because honestly, he just needs to survive. He just needs to be there, be alive, do his, bring the Vigor set to give us the Vigor, and then bring us that cleansing, and we're good to go. He has decent speed, decent HP, good defense. I don't care about anything else. Then he is 4-star awakened, level 60. I do have one over here in the passive, one skill up that helps me a little bit, I guess, gives a bit more attack gauge. So this is nice. If you can have this max, that's gonna be even better, right? Because you're gonna get 60% attack gauge boost every time this passive procs. Relic, I'm running the Frost Relic, even though I have this one to awaken. Frost Relic, again, same principle. It's 5-star level 40. I do have one skill up in here, but I'm not even using this skill, right? I don't even know why I skilled it. I guess maybe I was trying to get to this one, but honestly, you don't care, right? You don't care. It's all about his passive, to be fair. It's all about his passive that over here, this one that removes all damage over time whenever he has 2 or more effect accuracy increase. So yeah, this is the team that I used. I'm happy that I got to stage 10. Honestly, even if it's not 100% reliable, because of how much stamina it uses, and because it's so efficient, I'm just gonna keep running it up until it runs, and obviously up until it works. And then obviously later on, when I'm gonna improve the stats, I'm just gonna give them a few more levels, a few more stats, and it's gonna be reliable. And after that, as my friend Simon says, happy days. But anyway, we're gonna leave it at this for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider liking it, subscribing to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.
Fight with honor. Vanquish the wicked, and you may prove worthy of your legacy.